Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm fine, of course. Doing really well. Um, let's see. Gosh, let's see. It is November. What day of the month is it? I think it might be like the 11th. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, it's the 15th already. Dang, it's halfway through the month. So, I am gearing up to figure out a way to run without going to the gym and using the treadmill using the treadmill. I'm hoping to find a track with a very soft surface to run on, and that's going to mean probably going to either one of these high school tracks or going to the community college track or the UCSB track, running track. So right now, in fact, I'm going to go check out the tracks and see if there are any that are publicly available or open to the public. We'll see. There may not be any tracks available to the public. In that case, well, God help me. That's no big deal. I'll just run on the treadmill like I usually do, but I'll do so with a mask and goggles. No big deal. Um, I'm also after I do that, check out the tracks. I'm gonna go for a little run. Actually, I'm gonna go for a swim. Get some upper body action going because I don't want to work the lower body too much today because tomorrow I'm doing legs in the gym and I'm going to try for another personal record tomorrow and so we'll see how that's going. And boy, I tell you, it sure has been dry lately around here. Anyway, let's see what's going on. What's going on for me nowadays? Um, Nothing's been going on right now. Oh, I've been learning about water. And recently I read a really amazing paper about water and how water affects things like um, protein synthesis. And, uh, it was only theoretically, there's only a theoretical connection there, but water seems to be involved in all sorts of processes in the body, you know, intracellular water, total body water. Um, there are a lot of mechanisms in the body that maintain water and um, inside the cell and inside the tissues. And it's really just fascinating to read about all how water impacts all the chemical operations that happen within and outside cells. And it really got me to think about the reality of water and how it is the medium for all chemical um, reactions that happen inside the body, and how cells shape, whether a cell is hydrated or not will change that cell's physical dimension, whether it'll be smaller or larger, whether it's rigid or squishy, and also how sort of water affects things like glycogen and its use in the body and all kinds of amazing stuff. It just helped me to realize just how critical water is in our bodies and how important it is that we replace the water that we lose, and maybe even how important it is that we receive new water. I don't know. Who knows? There are only estimates about how much water we need, but this paper was really talking about how water could be partly related to um, muscle strength in older people and how dehydration may be playing a factor in places like in issues like sarcopenia. Fascinating to me how water is related to muscle strength. I mean, I have known for a while that by um, when athletes are 2 or 3, maybe even 4% dehydrated, that it significantly reduces their strength as they lift weights and as they exercise. And, you know, it's fascinating for me to sort of make the connection between knowing that elderly people have trouble with maintaining sort of their sense of thirst is diminished somewhat as they grow older, and how that it's sort of interesting how that's correlated with a lack of muscle strength. Now I know that's quite a reach, but this paper really put things into perspective, and I'm not able to describe it myself just off the hand. I only read the paper once, um, but it was really fascinating, and I don't know, it really got me to really think about water and how it impacts everything the cell does. I was also quite intrigued to learn about water's effect on metabolism, and how water can speed up metabolism, uh, thus burning, say, more calories per hour in a fully hydrated person than in a less hydrated person. Did I say fully dehydrated? I mean fully hydrated person compared to a dehydrated person. So anyway, I'm just really pretty stunned about it, and I'm pretty excited to start, making it more of a habit to drink water on a regular basis. Here are the facts. For a long time, I've not been good at drinking water. And it's kind of odd too, because I come from New Mexico, which is the high desert. And in that high desert, say at 7,000 feet elevation, what is true in that region is that it's very arid. The relative humidity is typically very low. And when winter comes, the relative humidity gets really low, because all the air is cold and it doesn't hold any condensation, and all the water just falls out of the air, and it's super dry in the wintertime. And it's so dry. I mean, I have really vivid memories of dragging my feet along the floor, the carpet in the house, and then building electric charges, just serious electric charges. And that's pretty. It's very telling, really. I think. And what's kind of interesting is, I guess I just as a child, ever since I was a child, how easy it was for me just not to drink that much water. And what's kind of interesting too is that um, I used to have the worst chapped lips when I was younger. And I am making a connection between my chapped lips and not getting enough water when I lived in New Mexico. Now, funny thing is, when I moved to California, I still didn't get enough water, and I had a lot of issues with chapped lips. Here in when I moved to California, I just was not drinking enough water, and I think, well, I'm afraid that habit has continued for years, for decades, and so I think I'm going to start rectifying that and start drinking water on a regular basis, and that's pretty exciting for me. I'm excited about drinking more water, and I'm excited about building muscle. One of the points in the article that I read talked about how muscle tissue is a reservoir for water in the human body. I mean, that was fascinating. I hadn't really thought about that before, but now things are beginning to come together and make sense. I mean, if you think about it yourself, imagine, I don't know if you've ever cooked a steak, but I've cooked a steak, and there's like before and after cooking a steak. It's very clear that there is a lot of water in steak, because as you cook, the steak shrinks, it gets smaller, becomes dehydrated. And yeah, it's very clear that healthy muscle tissue is just replete with water. And there are other places in the body that have lots of water, like the synovial fluid or the aqueous humor. Of course, there's, I don't know, I'd imagine there's the, what is the cerebral spinal fluid, things like that. Of course, we have it in saliva and things, and of course, our skin has a lot of water. And of course, our bloodstream has a lot of water. And significant amounts of water are lost in our bodies through respiration when we breathe, and also perspiration when we sweat through our skin, and sort of urination when we urinate. So anyway, I guess I'm getting too graphic, but my point is this: that water is essential. And I think for too long I've not been getting enough of it, and I'm excited to drink more. Anyway, just letting you know about my excitement. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll talk to you later, everybody. Bye bye.